남도 좀 세지 사실 된된 밤에 링고베 시라니 된 함에 조근서 도저 동군 졸라 자사로 좀 좋아나 보다냐면 심진 담제 땡게도 남신 라나메 바양다고 조베 산지제 고만은 못체라 지리장 고벌자 디체도 사단제 차에 대과천 부추 상남만으로와 수신도 냥솔랑버 지우 냠도 통말 군농 장주초도 투를 무치제방 온도 레버 설답대 셈브르 나와슈. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I don't see you, but I hope you are there. Okay, you are there. Now, I will make a very short the teachings of this Kadampa because of the time, a shortage time. Now, the Tibetan word lo jong. Lo is a mind, jong means train, so which means we train our mind. So everybody knows this, right? So you all very familiar with this word. You are very familiar with the teaching of the Lojong, but I here as a reminder, I'm a reminder, so I'm reminding you this mind training. Now, 7-point mind training, I can't go through, but I will make it short. Number one is a groundwork, which you call preliminary practice. And the groundwork, which means instruction on the what supports Dhamma practice. We do Dhamma practice, and we need supporter. So the groundwork or preliminary practice or the foundation supports our Dhamma practice. So for this, we reflect on 4 contemplations. There is the difficulty of obtaining a free and a well-favored existence, death and impermanence, and then the consideration of the shortcoming of the secular existence or the samsara. These are very simple. In general, the teachings of the Kadampa is very straightforward and very precise and very direct. Although you feel or although you know the teachings of the Kadampa is very simple, but the problem is that nobody practices, almost nobody. Therefore, the teachings of the Kadampa is very straightforward, very direct, and very precise. So we need to walk at these contemplations, 4 contemplations, so that they definitely become part of your thinking and your understanding and your practice. And for this, we need a continuity, the practice of continuity. We should energetically train ourselves in this kind of training or thinking. The problem is we value the Dharma, we value the mind training, and we understand very well what does mind training mean. But the actual problem is the lack of bringing them into the path of a practice because of the destruction, the mental destruction, negative habitual tendencies from the beginning list of this secular existence. We hear Dharma, we practice Dharma, we meditate Dharma, we train our mind, we collected teachings from here and there, but the lack of a practice, lack of bringing them into the practice, mingle yourself with the practice. So this is our problem. So now the teachings in the Kadampa tradition is just a very direct teaching. So therefore, meditation is needed. Rather than study, rather than contemplation, but meditation is needed. Meditation is a very serious the method to transform our negative mind into the perfect and the excellent mind. The transformation means we make change our mind, our basic mind, our diluted mind, our polluted mind. Our mind is polluted. By applying the meditation method, eventually or gradually you are able to bring your mind into the real Dharma, into the genuine Dharma, into the perfect Dharma practice. Simply reading Dharma books is not practice. Simply hearing Dharma teachings are not real Dharma practice. If you are able to bring those into the path, then that's the real Dharma practice. So therefore, the actual practice is a training bodhicitta. Because you know the preliminary practices anyway, so some of you are still practicing and you have received the teachings on it and precisely, and therefore I don't need to repeat it again and again. So therefore I go into the actual practice directly. So what does actual practice mean here in the Kadamba is a training in the bodhicitta. So we have to train in bodhicitta. There are two sections in the actual practice, which is the training in the bodhicitta, the associated meditation on ultimate bodhicitta or absolute bodhicitta, and the principal meditation on relative bodhicitta. So there are two, ultimate bodhicitta and the relative bodhicitta. And I have been spoken earlier in Tibetan more about the ultimate bodhicitta. So ultimate bodhicitta, the first section is again divided into two topics, I think. The instruction for a period of meditation and instruction for our daily life, or let's say the daily life of practice or the post meditation. Now, instruction for a period of meditation is that regard all phenomena as a dream. As a dream, which means not really solidly or inherently existed. All are just appearance. It's just appearance, which means lack of a solid, lack of inherent existence. We know, if you study philosophy, especially the Madhyamika philosophy, they explain in detail about the shunyata, about the emptiness. And theoretically we understood, and spiritually we understood, and literally we understood. But the problem is still the lack of experience of the emptiness, experience of the ultimate bodhicitta, and the experience of the ultimate meditation of bodhicitta. So therefore, for the time being, as an ordinary person, yet you regard yourself as a Dhamma practitioner, especially the follower of Kadamba tradition, then we must regard or understand the all phenomena as a dream. Because we all know dream is not real. The dream is just a dream. We see, we feel, we experience, and we perceive everything in the dream, yet lack of reality. Because after you awakening, then all dreams are gone. You enjoy within the dream. You have all kinds of a feeling and emotion within the dream. But once you awake from the sleep or dream, then all bad and the good dreams are gone, no longer exist there. Similar to the case, our daily life, we see all kinds of things externally, phenomena, and internally there are all kinds of phenomena. We have a fear with these, and we have joy with the circumstances. We have a feeling of a fear of losing the circumstances, and all kinds of emotions and feelings existed. But once you awaken your mind from the ignorance or dualistic mental attitude, then they're all gone simultaneously. No longer existed. So only problem is because of you are hold on to, grasp and hold on to as a solid, then we get trouble. So in order to get rid of the needless pain, suffering, miseries, then one should awake your mind from the ignorance, the stupid ignorance. From the beginningless of the time till today, we have met up great masters, and we have received great teachings, profound teachings. You have attended the great ceremonies and the Madhyamika campaign, Mahamudra campaign, Mahāti campaign. There are so many campaigns around. You attend, you enjoy, but after the campaign, everybody is gone. Your ego is increased. You never walk with your ego. You never walk with your mental attitude. You never walk with your habitual tendencies. You are still the same person as 2 years back, 3 years back. Your negative emotion is still there. Your anger is there. Your jealousy is there. The destructive mind is still there. So therefore, Kadam's teaching here, actually training here, is giving us how to handle the situation and the circumstances. So that, for that reason, one should develop or cultivate understanding of the regard all phenomena as dreams. So we repeatedly think over. We repeatedly need to be cultivated in any situation, whether you are in the state of happiness, whether you are in the state of unhappiness. So any state you are in, application is need to be bring within your attitude. Must not forget the application. Simply understanding will not help you to get rid of these powerful underlying negativities and ignorance, destructive thoughts. So application. Bring yourself into the practice. Apply antidotes. Apply mindfulness. Apply remedy. Make yourself mindful. Don't make yourself stupid, more stupid. So this is how we try to develop or open our mind, able to perceive teachings, and then to bring teachings into the path, into the reality. Make sure that you are not separate from the teaching. Make sure yourself never separate from the practice. Make sure yourself never separate from your realization or actual understanding. So therefore, regard all phenomena as the dreams. This means that whatever we experience in our lives is solely or purely memory. Just memory. So all those, the perceptions are none other than our own mental creation. Good, bad, hope and lose, fear, all kinds of emotion and feelings. It's just all mental creation. Because of this mental creation causes the needless suffering, the pain and the samsara. We all wish to be free from these unnecessary pain and the suffering from the samsara, yet we don't know how to. Lacking the idea, lacking the wisdom, and lacking the method, because you are not awake in your mind, you are still wandering in this samsara. What we can do only, we just say, "Oh Buddha, oh Dharma, oh Sangha, oh Guru, think of us, look after us, save us." They can't save you simply, because as the Buddha said, eventually, ultimately you save yourself. You are your own friend, you are your own enemy. No one else. So therefore, the perceptions are none other than our mental creation. In the same way, you can see that you hate your enemy, you love for your friends. Then your attitude towards wealth, the name, the reputation, the benefit are all a part of the discursive thought. These are all discursive thoughts. So when you hear phenomena as a dreams, what you understand or what you understood when you hear this phenomena as a dream, all dharmas as a dream, whatever you hear. So what you understood from this point, you understand or you understood that although you might think that things are very inherent, the way we perceive them is the dreamlike. You see something beautiful, you see something attractive, seemingly looks solid, inherent, and a true existence. But then you should realize at the same time these are just a dreamlike. Like in the dream, I see beautiful things, ugly things, and I hear good things, I hear bad things. Within the sleep, within the dream state, are all seemingly truly existed there. Once you awakened from the sleep, then they are all gone, right? This is a very good example, actually. It's a simple example, but it's a practical example. If you pay attention to these kind of examples, these examples give you a good message and a good example. So there you can analyze our daily life. We handle all circumstances and situations, but none of them really benefit us as a Dharma practitioner. Did you ever notice, after you receiving profound teachings, did you make any changes? Your basic mental attitude. Did we? Are we? We didn't. You sit on a cushion in the temple, you do meditation, you tend to be changed to things momentarily, but you can't. You are hoping something, you are expecting something, but the practice itself doesn't really help you to change at all. Moreover, sometimes the ego, negative thoughts, discursive thoughts increased. That means you are not working with your ego. You are not working with your emotion. You are not working with your discursive thoughts. Pretendly you are doing practice. It's just a pretend. You are not really doing practice. You and your ego always live there separately. You are not taking care of yourself. You tend to study, but this study doesn't really bring as a remedy to the ego. You do contemplation. This contemplation doesn't really come to the ego. Never touch the ego. You do meditation. Meditation is simply you try to focus your mind on some object. You never thought about ego. Such a powerful, invisible, underlying existence you call ego is always there. In fact, you are helping ego, because each and every practice you do, you increase your pride, your ego, your anger, your aggression. So you become more aggressive after certain practices you've done. Let's say I have spoken to the Tibetan just now, because those who do retreat 3 years or 4 years, 6 years. So after completion of the meditation or retreat, so their ego never change. Is still there. So similar, in this teaching, mind training, they keep reminding us, we notice our practice. We pay attention to our practice. Our retreat is our daily life. Our daily life is our retreat. Open your mind, be mindful, keep mindfulness and alertness. Whether you are alone or in the crowd, you sit as meditation, or you are reading, or you walk around. Every time, each and every time, we pay attention and remind ourselves, analyze our attitude, examine our attitude. So, as it says here, phenomena as dreams mean that although you might think that things are very inherent or solid, but the way we perceive them is dreamlike. So we keep this in mind. Somebody criticizes you, then immediately you apply the remedy, say, oh, this is just like dreamlike. If somebody press you, then immediately you think or you tell yourself that, oh, this is just like a dreamlike. It's a dreamlike. So the external phenomena are simply our mind's projection or the manifestation of the confusion. Our basic problem is the confusion, so we are working with the confusion. In the ultimate Bodhichitta training, we fight against ego and the confusion. Confusion is the source of all the rest of the problems. So the mind training means we are working with the confusion. It doesn't mean the confusion is our enemy, but rather try to make confusion as a friendly and bring confusion into the path of the practice. If you are able to do that, then the confusion helps you to open your wisdom, to strengthen the power of the wisdom. And you can learn more, you can realize more, and you can understand more and more, deeper and deeper level. Not only with the study and the contemplation, but rather meditation. Meditation goes into the deeper, so therefore your wisdom is more strengthened and more powerful, that you can cut through all these unnecessary pain and miseries. Because you have been cut the source of the problems, that is the confusion. In the end, they are not actually existent in any way whatsoever, but are like the appearances in a dream. Then you look at your own mind, examine the nature of unborn awareness. Look at your own our mind, basic mind. It's a simple awareness, nothing. It's just a mind. That mind never divided into any sections. Thoughts arise and look at your mind. Anger arise, look at your mind. Any thoughts arise, just directly look at your mind. There you will see the reality of the mind, which is free from all these discursive thoughts. Discursive thoughts is just a manifestation of the confusion. When you are unable to see the reality of the confusion, if you are able to catch the point, which is the reality of the confusion, it's nothing else than the wisdom itself. Confusion itself is the part of wisdom. But the problem is you make separate confusion and the wisdom. Confusion arises from the wisdom because of you are lacking the wisdom, so the confusion disturbs you. You haven't found the wisdom as yet. So if you are able to cut through the confusion, then the wisdom arises from the confusion. Because confusion is nothing else than the wisdom itself. When your mind is disturbed by the dualistic attitude, then you are seeing as a confusion and you are unable to see the wisdom. Through the training of your mind, especially the ultimate Bodhichitta training of the mind, then you are able to see the confusion as the wisdom. Because you are awakened fully, your mind, and the wisdom is fully awakened, the confusion is gone, no longer existed there. It's mingled, the confusion with the wisdom. In Vajrayana, it's called the mind of a Vajra, or Vajra mind. Why it's a Vajra mind is never born? As it says here, it's an unborn mind. Never abide anywhere and never gone anywhere. No born, no abide, and no cessation. Free from all these three notions, the birthless, because never born, your ultimate mind, and never abide, because it's never born, and the never ceased, because it never abide. It's a pervade all phenomena, samsara, nirvana. This true notion, samsara, nirvana, is just still the manifestation of your confusion. Once you are able to break or uproot this powerful confusion, then the neither samsara or no nirvana is existed. If you are able to see or realize your own mind is a Buddha, is it pure? Your mind is pure, therefore we call it a Buddha. This is simply your basic mind. If you take care of your basic mind, not let be destructive or attractive or distracted. If you keep your basic mind safely, not letting distracted, then your mind is pure, is a Buddha, mind of a Buddha. Any thoughts arise from this is just a display, it's a manifestation. It will never disturb you if you are able to catch yourself, if you are able to catch your basic mind. Regardless you do meditation, or your mind is being distracted or disturbed by any circumstances, if you are still be able to hold your basic mind, so those manifestations, thoughts, negative, positive, whatever thoughts arise, are all just a manifestation.
And they will help you to increase your meditation, the power of a meditation. Each and every one of these thoughts are helpful for your meditation. A supporter your meditation. We need these thoughts. But in order to bring these thoughts as a supporter, one should cut through the grasping on it. One should cut through the distraction. One should cut through the holding on to solidly or inherently. One should break this idea. One should break this thinking. Then your basic mind become very simple. You will be more enjoyable. You will be more joyful in your daily life. You can still have your daily life. You can walk around, you can eat, you can talk, and you can enjoy all kinds. But best part is no longer disturbances there. Our fear is a disturbance, isn't it? You always feel something is disturbing me, therefore I need to do meditation. External factors are disturbing me, therefore I need your meditation instruction. You are seeking advice, you are seeking the teachings, because you have a fear of losing your basic mind. You have a fear that the external factors are disturbing you. You are no longer in the state of peace and steady. Therefore you are looking for spiritual guideline. Therefore you are looking for spiritual teaching. But then, as the time passes, when you do meditation, when you do contemplation, when you do your chant, morning prayers, but you never consider about your ego and the distractions. So therefore, as a meditator, you should always be mindful and be cautious with each and every single your attitude, mental attitude, verbal attitude, physical attitude, very important. Don't separate yourself with the practice. You support yourself, you help yourself, you try to free yourself from the suffering and the pain by only one method, which is the mindfulness and looking at your mind and be mindful, be wise, never distracted your mind. Distraction is still there, but you should value the distraction by knowing or realizing its nature. If you are realized, or if you realize the distractions or distracted mind arise from your basic mind, it just comes, it goes back. Just like a wave in the ocean. Then there are no longer disturbance there. If you are holding on to it, the distraction, the thoughts, then the disturbance is always there. Continuously, ceaselessly, they will disturb you. You are still lacking the method and the good idea how to get rid of these. So therefore, principal teaching in the Kadamba tradition is accept things as it is. External factors come to you, and you should accept joyfully, but with the help of wisdom. And any thoughts or discursive thoughts or good thoughts arise, then you should accept them as it is. Because they are just a simply manifestation of your basic mind. So all kinds of manifestation, whether you call this as wisdom or confusion, all are same in principally. So that is your own mind. So this is called ultimate bodhicitta. And then relatively, the bodhicitta, you develop the bodhicitta of the aspiration and bodhicitta of application. So these two are simple. Everybody knows bodhicitta, compassion, loving kindness. But in order to develop this relative bodhicitta, one should understand ahead what is the ultimate bodhicitta. Ultimate bodhicitta pervades all sentient beings. All sentient beings, a mind principally pure, never touched by any negativities. Basic mind is pure as a Buddha's mind. But just being distracted, so it became sentient beings. And the one able to get rid of is called the Buddha. That's it. So basic mind or pure mind is the pervade all sentient beings' mind. So from this perspective, what you have found is, oh, my mind is pure. My thoughts is just a manifestation. So you enjoy, you are happy, because you think this is not my nature. This is not my mind's nature. The thoughts are just a come and a go. Basically, it's the same. The more thoughts, whether it's good thoughts or bad thoughts, doesn't really matter. Thoughts are just a manifestation, or it's just a display of my basic mind. So you are not holding on to, right? You just enjoy with it. You are just simply accept it. You just simply enjoy with it, but nothing particular. Just let go and come. Just let it be, let it go, let it come. If you don't follow after this, you have no problem at all. Your life will be happy, your life will be joyful, and your practice will go smoothly without disturbance. So after all, the concise here again, the mind training. Two aspects, one ultimate, one relative. Among these two, I here suggest to you the ultimate bodhicitta is important. Why? If you are realized, or if you are able to catch the point of ultimate bodhicitta, then the relative bodhicitta will arise simultaneously. Because your wisdom, you have seen all sentient beings, initially they are all Buddha, they are pure. But just because of the temporarily, they are distracted mind that disturbs. So therefore they are still wandering this samsara. If you are able to cut or get rid of the distraction, then your mind is simultaneously enlightened. Your mind is initially is already enlightened, because never touch with any the diluted substances. So your mind is as pure as a Buddha's mind, but then we work with the manifestations, the external factors, the internal factors, the thoughts arise, you complain, there are so many thoughts one after another, so they leave me behind, too busy, restless. My practice doesn't go smooth because of the disturbing emotion, disturbing mind. You keep complaining. So instead of a complaint, if you are able to catch these thoughts, these emotion as your basic mind, it's just a come and a go, like a cloud in the space, come and a go. They never stay there. If you don't hold on, grasp on, then it comes and it goes. The best part you enjoy is no disturbance. The disturbance comes from within, not from outside. The within in the sense because you grasp on it. You believe it solidly existed. So that's a problem. If you take it as a part of your basic mind, come and go, like a cloud, like a wave and an ocean, then there's no disturbance. So this practice is very essential and very beneficial as a Kadamba, because the 7-point mind training is simple. You all get this instruction, and I'm sure you know all, but the problem is the application. So here I'm precisely emphasize the meditation, application, bringing them into your practice. Make sure that you experience of the benefit each and every time you do meditation. This is very important. You don't need teacher. You are your own teacher. Every factors is your teacher. Every thought, your teacher. You don't need a human teacher. Every phenomena, every circumstances is your teacher. If you pay attention, if you take them wisely, if you practice them wisely, if you handle the situation wisely, so every factors, every circumstances is your best teacher. They can teach you, they can give you a good lesson, much more than the human teacher. Human teacher got a very limited wisdom. If you open your mind and handle the situation carefully, every phenomena, every circumstances give you a profound lesson. Every day you can learn something that gives you joy, confidence, determination. Therefore, you have to be very decisive to work with the every circumstances. Don't make any partial. Don't make any particular. Your life is happy if you are able to handle the circumstances carefully and wisely. So this is the essential teaching of the Kadampa. 7, 6, 5 number is not important. Kadampa teaching is beyond the number, is beyond the counting numbers. It is something momentarily or simultaneously. Every situation come to you, you accept joyfully. Open mind. Look at with the wisdom. Don't make yourself down. Don't let external factor rule you or control you. You should control them. You should control the external phenomena. You should control the internal factors, thoughts. Every situation come to you if you regard them as your teaching, as your teacher, as your method, as your remedy. Then you don't need human teacher or master any longer. Therefore, Buddha says you are your own spiritual master. You are your own enemy. No one else, nothing else. You are your own spiritual master, which means you have heavy responsibility. If you love yourself, if you want to protect yourself, if you feel that you don't want to live in this samsara, you want to be free, ultimate free, absolute free, then the only method existed for you or to you is handling the situation carefully. For this, you need a continuity, the practice of a continuity. Regardless what situation occurs, tell yourself, remind yourself. Don't be forgetful. Session is 24 hours. There's a nothing special session, so-called 1 hour session, morning session, evening session. This is a stupid session. Wise session is every time you pay attention, you become mindful, then you handle the situation. You look at outside, you look at the object of outside, you look at your mind. That's your ultimate session. This session is more powerful than your regular session. So the 24 hours is the Kadamba's teaching. Your physical movement, your verbal action, your mental action are all Kadamba's teaching. So movement itself is the teaching. The discussion is nothing. Conversation is nothing. If you open up your mind, if you be yourself as a person of wisdom, that's it. Kadampa masters convince you to do this. They convince you be a wise. They never convince you say read the book. They never convince you do more conversation or discussion. Discussion leads you nowhere. Sometimes the discussion leads you to wrong direction. Books tell you limited information, and some information is not accurate. So the best accurate instruction is your own judgment. Therefore, don't just open your eye, open your mind. Open your eye, you see all kinds of things, but they disturb you. If you open your mind, then nothing is going to be disturbed you. So choice is yours. When you walk outside, you see all kinds of things, but don't take them as a fun. Take them as a serious lesson for you. You think or you believe, you tell yourself, I'm a mind trainer. So I have to train my mind with all circumstances that I can see, I can hear, I can smell, I can touch, I can talk. So whatever activity you do, these all activities as a part of your practice, your meditation. So in this, you cut through your regular sessions. You don't need sessions, you don't need retreat. Everyday life is a retreat. Everyday life is a session. Everyday life is your practice. So be wise, open your mind, be a person of wisdom. So this is the essential, concise, and the profound words of Gatampa. That's all. Thank you so much.